Hi there, it's Jason here, and today I'm going to really quickly tell you how to access MTD in Taxfiler. I'm not going to show you on the screen, I'm just going to talk to the camera. Reason being, there's very little I can show you on the screen really, so it's just a lot easier just to talk to the camera and just to basically, I've got my full instructions on the screen there, so what I'm going to do is just going to convey those instructions over the webcam and hopefully get you set up for MTD within Taxfiler. Now the first thing to do is enable your agent services account. Now this is done outside of Taxfiler. So if you haven't enabled your agent services account, you need to turn this on first and associate your clients with it. Now, as I say, this is done completely outside of the software. So for these purposes, I'm assuming you've got your agent services account set up. Now, I just want to say one thing because a lot of people are getting confused. The Agent Services account, or ASA, is completely separate from your normal gateway account, and these IDs are used for filing SA and CT returns. So they're two totally separate things, and this is where I think a few people are getting confused on Taxfiler. You must remember that your agent services details for MTD, the credentials, are totally separate from your gateway credentials for SA and CT. So it's also worth saying that setting up the agent services account in Taxfiler will not affect your SA or CT submissions, and you will not need to touch your gateway IDs when you enter your agent services credentials. Now, I'm sorry for harping on this point, but it does seem a real sticking point in Taxfiler where people are getting the two sets of credentials confused. They're entering the old gateway credentials into the new agent services account, which is totally wrong. There are two totally separate areas in Taxfiler to enter these details, and you don't need to touch your gateway IDs for entering your SA and CT returns. They're all done. As long as they're working okay, you don't need to touch them when we're doing MTD. So if you've already enabled your agent services account, do excuse me from reading off the screen, you'll need to enter in the system the agent services account IDs. Now what you need to do is you're going to need to go into the settings module in Taxfiler, and you need to choose the HMRC online data tab, and then you click enable access to HMRC data. Now that's, as I say, that's for setting up your agent services account, and that's where you need to enter your brand new credentials, not your old gateway login IDs. Okay. Now it's worth remembering as well, again it's a little bit of a sticking point, each of your clients will need to be registered with HMRC for VAT for MTD. Now if they were registered to submit VAT returns using the old IDs, then these clients will need to be re-registered to allow access to their online VAT data. It can take up to 72 hours before a confirmation is sent to HMRC. Sorry, a confirmation is sent from HMRC informing you that the client is now registered to submit VAT returns digitally and listing the client's VAT numbers. Now, the process is not automatic, and you will need to go to the gov.uk website and follow the listed steps. You must do that. Each one of your clients has to be registered for VAT for MTD. It's just a little note on here, but you've probably gone way past this. Please remember, you do not need to register any client until they enter their first period that starts on or after the 1st of April. However, please note that once they're registered for MTD, they will need to submit all their VAT returns online with MTD from that point onwards. That's also very important to remember. Now, spreadsheets and how it works, how MTD works in Taxfiler. Now, Taxfiler will not create VAT calculations, but it's literally populated from the data that's fed from either online software or from a spreadsheet. So there's 9 data boxes that need to be populated, the same 9 boxes that have always been on the VAT return, which will allow the VAT filing. Okay, so Taxfiler does not create the calculations. It's literally populated from either online software or from your spreadsheets. Okay, it's really important to remember that. So how to access the VAT tab. Now, this is also important in Taxfiler. You have to click on the particular client you're going to work on. You click Client/Case Details tab. You then click Go to Client. You'll now be in the Details tab, and you need to look at the Personal Details subheading, and you'll see the entry there for the VAT number box. Enter the client's VAT number in there. Now the VAT tab should now appear once you've entered the client's VAT number in there. Now just let me go back just 1 second. I guess what I meant to say when Taxfiler imports data from spreadsheets, I did say online, I didn't mean to say that, I meant other software. So because if you're using bridging software for MTD, you're obviously not using online software. So please excuse me for saying that. So just to reiterate, Taxfiler does not calculate the 9 boxes of the VAT return. They have to be populated from other software or from a spreadsheet. So it's just worth remembering that. As I say, a few people are sort of slipping up on that as well. And as I say, as I've just gone over, the last instruction is to look at the make sure you've got the VAT tab. So client stroke case details after you've clicked on that client. Go to client, you're now in the details tab. See the personal details subheading where you'll see the entry for the VAT number. Enter the client's VAT number in there, and then the VAT tab should then appear. So that's about it. Hopefully that will help you get set up with MTD on Taxfiler. I hope that's been useful. Speak to you again soon.